https://discord.gg/flat earth.
Welcome to 24/7 Flat Earth Discord channel. Be sure to go to VC Check and 1 to get your VC verification tags to get involved in the conversation about our Earth. Be sure to bring your verifiable Earth curvature evidence, though.
xdhaunt.
That has been measured. I mean, when you go to Google, it says that there's a number right there. So clearly someone had to have done it, right? So, but yeah, I mean, that's an important thing. If you told me XD Haunt that you're 6'7", okay, great. So
Oh, I
mean,
wish.
yeah,
I
me
wish.
too. I know, me too, bro, Chad. But you would need to back that up with measurements. So that's essentially a big part of this server. Is like they're saying the Earth is a certain quote height as well, 3959 in radius, 25,000 miles circumference. So it's like, okay, well, we would back that up with measurements. So we go look for the measurements, and fortunately, no one did that. It's basically just someone claiming they're 6'7", like Lil Wayne.
Actually, I have a question, right? If
What?
the Earth is flat, as people say, right? How does the day and night cycle work?
Well, I want to just quickly, because when you say "as they say," most people don't know what that means. Most like if I took 10 random strangers off the street and I said those words to you, like flat
Well,
Earth,
I
they'd be
don't
like,
know how to
"Oh,
word
so
things properly, but
no,
I
no, no, you're
guess what
fine.
you mean.
You're fine." I
Okay.
was just gonna say that most people don't know what it is, and so what they typically do is, like I used to play PlayStation 2 back in the day. You know how like some games are like Halo was an Xbox only game. You
Yeah.
can't take Halo and put it in a PlayStation, expect it to work. So they're not
hmm
compatible. So the issue is a lot of people they take some disk and they try to load it into outer space and they go, "Well, how does that work?" And we're just trying to help people understand that it doesn't work. That's what most people think. If I took 10 random strangers off the street and said flat earth, they're going to try and insert a disk into outer space and then ask questions based off of that. Oh, well, how can I go jump off the edge and how does day and night work? Or that those ideas are not compatible. So you have to at least understand what flat Earth is first. I would say it's a very important thing. Jedi, did you want to chime in?
Oh, no, sorry, buddy. I was just walking outside. I do apologise to interrupt.
No, you're good. You're good. I just saw you, a little celebrity guest popped in, so welcome.
Hey.
So when you're
How?
like, well, flat as they say, most people don't know what it is. So I think it's important to understand what it is. So I'll give you something to chew on.
So
Most
you're
people,
basically telling me to understand what flat Earth is first.
yeah, I can help you with that a little bit. So like, most people think of the Earth as an object that's within a larger space, right? I would
Mm.
say that I would say that the Earth isn't an object within a large space. I would say Earth is the large space. We don't see the Earth as a floating pizza in space. You know what I'm saying? But when you go to Google or YouTube, that's what it'll show you. That's what they're trying to tell you. That's what we think. That's There's not a single person in this server that thinks the Earth is like a floating pancake. So it's important
So
to
it's just like
understand.
a big piece of mass that's like infinite. Is that what you're trying to say?
I don't know about infinite, but like your worldview would essentially be a
I'm not trying to troll, but like you're like trying to like think along like Minecraft world gen type of stuff like that. How it just goes on for infinite, and it's like
would you say outer space is infinite, or do you think it's kind
uh,
of like a limited thing? I don't know if there's a wrong answer because when you go to Google and search it, you'll see both answers.
I
There's
mean,
like an article that says like we asked
what's
5
that?
experts.
What's that satellite thing that's been going for like over
Voyager,
40 years?
yeah, Voyager.
Yeah, that thing. It's like 20 billion something. I don't know what it is, the measurement, but it's like 20 billion something away. So I
So
think
they say.
it's yeah. Well, so they say, like you say, but
So in
yeah.
that same like there's an article that says we asked 5 experts if outer space is infinite, and some say it is, and some say it isn't. So, and like, so if it isn't, and then we have the Voyager, then the answer is like, well, we haven't explored it all to say where the edge is or what shape it is or any of that stuff. It's not like you can leave outer space, pop out of it, and then like take selfies with outer space from the outside. There's no like outside of outer space. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So in that same way, like that's how we see the Earth. You can't pop out of the Earth, some quote outside place, and then take selfies. There's no outside view. So, but people come here all the time. They're like, well, where's the edge and what shape is the Earth? We don't know, bro. Just like they don't know where the edge of outer space is. They can't pop out of outer space and say, oh, well, all of the reality is shaped like this. You don't have that POV. You know what I'm saying? So just like the
That's
Voyager hasn't
sorry.
explored everything, we haven't explored the whole Earth either. Go ahead, Jedi.
All I was going to say is that's why we are called flat earthers, because flat is a description of a surface. It's not a claim to the shape of the Earth. The Earth's surface, the waters of it, for example, apart from the hills and topography, the Earth is flat. Now, we don't know how big it is, its expanse, for example, but the idea is you've only got two choices. It either goes on infinitely or it is finite and stops somewhere. So understanding that flat is a description of a surface and we're not making a claim to the shape of the Earth because we couldn't make a claim to a claim to the shape of the Earth, because like CB just said, we don't have that God's eye view, for example.
Yep, and I would say there's another two options as well that's really important. XD, I want you to just take like 30 seconds wherever you are. Just look around you at everything. Everything has a surface, right? So look at all the surfaces. I've got a cup here,
All
my
right, right now.
table. Yeah, yeah. I'm inside of the
It's
library. So,
nighttime. Let
oh,
me turn
okay.
on the light.
Well, I mean, you can kind of think about it too, picture it. But like, I've got a computer here, my keyboard. There's a mouse,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
table, a cup. So what I'm saying is, I'll present to you a dichotomy. I would say there's only two options for the surface. Things can either be rounded or curved in some way, or they're not. So like my mouse, for example, it's curved, right? It's rounded. The cup, my water bottle here, is
Hold
rounded.
on, let me get something so I can understand better, like an
Sure.
object. So,
So then, like you have my screen, my computer screen. The front of the screen is flat, but the back is rounded.
oh yeah.
Um, so I'm presenting to you that those are the only two options. There's no third option here. So I would say that that dichotomy also applies when you go out into reality. It can only be doing one or two of those things. It can't be doing both, right? My mouse isn't, flat curved. It's, the top of it's curved, all of it. Um, So I would say that there's only two options here. So the same thing applies to the water, for example. When you go to the ocean, it's either doing the curved thing or it's not. And so that's what we're saying. It's not a claim to the shape, it's a claim to the surface. We're saying the earth, the surface is flat, just like your table. It doesn't matter if there's bumps or either as well. Like some people get confused. They mean they're thinking we're asking about like a smooth earth or whatever. No. If you have a floor and I take like a lion rug or a zebra rug or a bumpy rug and I put it down on the floor, well, that doesn't make the floor now curved. It's still a flat floor. So the same thing applies with like mountains, trees, hills, and valleys. It's just like the bumpy rug, but essentially
Wait,
the
so you like
floor
trying
is
to
still
say
flat.
about you like trying to say like bedrock is flat, but then the stuff like on top of it makes it different, like elevation or something.
Sure, yeah, you can think of it like that, I think.
Huh.
So, but then again, like you look at that's why we go do tests over the water because obviously the water doesn't have those features. It doesn't have mountains and valleys. So we're essentially going to the water. Because look, bro, we look at the space selfies, right? They show you a curved water, curved oceans, curved lakes. Okay, great. Well, let's go into reality and see if the water's really doing that. Well, I don't know if you live by the ocean or a lake, or maybe one day you'll take a vacation and you can try out some tests. But that's what a lot of people here do is we try to go out to the field into the reality and test to see whether the Earth is doing one of those two things. So I spent a month in San Diego California at the beach doing long distance observations, looking for this quote curved water. And I mean, newsflash, it's not it's not there. We're saying that it's flat. So I mean, I would encourage at some point, you don't have to like leave this Discord call and say, oh, well, these guys said it, so it must be true. Maybe one day you can go to, a lake trip or a beach trip and you can do your own little tests and find out for yourself
I mean,
what the Earth
sure.
is really doing. So,
When I went to a beach, I mean, when you look out into the horizon, it does look flat, but
yeah.
what I've been told in school and everything just explains it.
Right, right, right. Yeah, I mean, obviously, you're not just like flapping your eyelids. If this, for example, like if you and I both go to the beach, you're still a global believer. We both see the
Mm.
same thing. So it's like you're saying no, it's a globe. I'm saying it's flat. So we don't just look. That's why you have to do the tests. The tests are the important part. Because obviously we all observe the same Earth. We just have different conclusions essentially. So yeah, you want to set up a test. And there's ways to do that. People have done laser tests. So think of like for example, think of like a hood of a car. I don't know if you drive, but I'm sure you can understand that most hoods or bonnet, if you're a Jedi, um, they generally are curved. I would say, unless you drive like an old Cadillac or something. I think most
Mm.
hoods are curved. So let's take that hood and let's blow it up to the size of a state or a country. Let's make it huge. And we ask you, okay, go test for the curvature. Now, you don't have to. Um, well, let me start with this. Essentially, to do that, you would need some type of straight edge. So maybe you could take a laser and shine that straight above the hood. If there's any deviation, if the hood starts dipping down away from that straight edge, you know right away, okay, well, it cannot be flat, period. And you don't even have to, go across the whole thing. If there's any curvature, then it's curved, period. You can't be doing both. So that's essentially what we're doing. We're using, people do laser tests. We have an observation or an argument called the black swan. We could go over with you if you'd like to, but yeah, look at what Dre's
What's the
posted.
black swan?
Oh yeah, yeah, the black swan.
Yeah, what's that?
It's a really good argument. It's one of the when I first joined the server, they're like, all right, what do you have for us? I was like, well, I know the black swan. I think it's a really good argument, so we can go over that with you. Let me start, guys. Don't post anything just yet on that. I want to start first with the first screenshot, and then these guys will have some more stuff for you. But let me post something in the chat, and I have a question for you based off of that. So let me get this one. Okay. I just want you to know, where do you see the horizon in this image?
Like, if I can see it, uh, like where the shade of yellow changes, I guess.
Yeah, would you say it's in between, in front of, or behind those oil rigs?
In the middle of them, both.
Oh, okay. Well, let me give you another image here just to help out a little bit. How about this one? This one has like a multiple choice. So would you say it's at A, B, or C, or D?
Hold on, let me look at the image. So I'm looking for the horizon, right?
Mm-hmm.
A.
There you go. There you go. Exactly. All right. Well, now let's go to the argument. So this is an observation just off the coast of California, I believe in Santa Monica. I can give you a screenshot here if I pull up Google Maps, but let me just not get distracted. Let me get the argument first. Here. All right. So remember earlier I said Santa Barbara. Apologies. So remember earlier I asked you, like, we talked about like the size of, if you claimed you were 6'7", all right, well, you know
Mm.
that. So essentially, I mentioned that the Earth had a certain size as well. So they're claiming it has a radius of 3,959 miles. That's how the argument starts off. So if the Earth is a sphere with a radius of 3,959 miles, as they claim, then every horizon distance measurement must be no more than 1.22 miles, or 1.225 times the square root of the observer's height in feet. Now let's go over that. I know that sounds a little complicated. So this is based off of the Earth curve calculator that I will post here. Let me get a screenshot for you. And I'll get you a screenshot and a link. There's a screenshot. Let me get the link here. But you can play around with this a little bit if you want to. But essentially, I want you to look at.
Does it work on phone?
Sorry. Yeah, it
Does
should.
it work on phone?
It should. But if
Is
you
it
look at
that
this,
link there?
yeah, at the bottom, the DizIb GitHub. But if you look at the D1, you'll see D1 horizon distance 1.224560 miles. So essentially, what they're saying is, if you're 1 foot off the surface of the Earth, the distance to the curve, essentially the horizon, should be at 1.22 miles. So just like if you were 6 foot tall, then there has to be 72 inches there. It's a requirement based off of the size. So it's kind of the same thing. It's just a breakdown of the claimed size of the Earth. So they're saying that, yeah, 1.22 miles is the distance to the horizon at 1 foot off the ground. So we go back to the observation. This image was taken. Yeah, there's the video there if you want to. Yeah, so he's got his camera about 1 foot off the surface,
Mm.
and so those oil rigs, they're obviously not like floating on the water. They're they're drilled into the ground, so they're not moving anything. So let me actually go to Google Maps, and I'll get you a screenshot. You can kind of see how they look off the coast here. But we know the distance. We know their distance from the shore. The first one's at like 6.1
Wait, have
miles.
those oil rigs been like confirmed to be ones that are being drilled into the ground, or?
Yeah,
Yes, yes,
They are.
it's quite established. They're very they're when they built those rigs, they were cemented to the seafloor. So yes, they're quite. You can know exactly where they are from the distance in Santa Barbara. You can actually know where they are from the seashore. Yes.
So yeah, yep. So the reason why we use them, it's important because obviously if you just go to the ocean and you're just blindly looking out at the water, you don't really have a way to gauge how far you're looking. So that's what the rigs are only there to tell you how far you're looking. So the first one's at 6.21 miles. The second one's at 9.41 miles. And I did say I was going to get you a screenshot from Google Maps. So let me just take this really quickly.
Wait, the second one's 9 miles. That doesn't look that far away.
Yep, yep. The screenshot has some of the numbers on there, but if you want to play around on Google Earth or Google Maps or something, you can definitely do that too. Um, just take this screenshot really quickly.
It's really not going to change anything about the argument, though, because it's
Right,
not right. Exactly. So it's just, these oil platforms are that distance, and they're dormant now. They're not even extracting oil anymore. They're just
Okay.
still out there, but they're not even being used. Nobody's working there. Nobody's standing on those platforms, utilizing them. They're and at the same time, they're just a node of demarcation from the shore at Santa Barbara, from one to the other. And when you put the camera at 1 foot observer height, you see the horizon behind them. So simple.
Yep, yep.
Why are people making this more than it should be? Because they want the earth to be a globe so bad.
Yep, yep.
I don't know why they want the earth to be a globe when it's obviously not, but that's their fault.
It's not in contention at the moment. CB's just running through the observation, mate.
Yep. Sorry, I was trying to go to. I have Google Earth Pro on this computer, so I was trying to get some fancy extra screenshots. But yeah, essentially, as long as you can agree, those are the distances. So clearly, the horizon's past that 1.2 mile mark.
I'm a
So
bit lost right now.
Yeah, we can bring it back full circle. No worries. So
Sure. Yeah.
we, so they're saying that the horizon, the Earth curve, is supposed to be at 1.22 miles. If you look at that screenshot I posted on, I can repost it here.
What, the one with the circles, like the red ones? Or
This one here. Take a look at D1 horizon distance. You
oh,
see that?
there's loads of screenshots being posted right now.
I
Um,
know. Sorry about that. The
uh,
3 minutes past the hour from Creation Bear is the Earth
oh,
curve
okay,
calculator.
yeah, the website one. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
So you've got the D1 horizon distance, right? So you've got your 1.22 there. So they're saying that that's where the horizon is required to be at 1.22 miles, right?
Mm.
So let's go back to the observation. Get another for you. And again, you could tell obviously the horizon is behind that second oil rig at 9.41 miles. So essentially, what we're doing is debunking the idea that there is a geometric or a physical curve of the Earth. We're saying that the water essentially is flat, bro. There is no curve.
Sure.
Essentially, is the argument.
Right. And the idea, if the Earth is uh, the size that they say it is, right? F- you know, 3,959 miles in, with radius,
Mm.
and the circumference 27,501 or 20, shit, 29,501 or whatever. So there should be a drop value. So when you're looking across so are you looking up over? Something should be blocking these oil rigs, but now you see the horizon behind it. It's
I've got another screenshot for you that might be helpful to wrap up this point. Let me drop it in the screenshot. So what we're seeing in reality is that green line. So if you take a look at that screenshot, right? I drew a circle.
Mm.
We're seeing that green line there behind that H1. So you see the red arrow with H1. This is target with the red
Wait,
arrow.
So if I'm understanding correctly, the image you just posted about the green circle is what is claimed is
Yes,
happening,
correct.
but the above image of the oil rigs is reality.
Yes, yes. And so
Oh.
in with the green circle, right? How is it that you're seeing that green line if there's supposed to be essentially a hump or a hill or whatever, a curve in the way? How are you seeing this green line? Well, we're saying there is no hump, essentially. That's kind of
yeah,
our argument. But if you want to
yeah. And
hear,
I would say what you actually see is what you actually see. So when you see something, you can believe it. You can believe your own eyes right in front of your face. When you
thank you. Sorry about that, Helio. We'll get back to you in just a second. I just want to give him a quick, this is what our opponents essentially are saying, XD. This is me talking to a guy who dubs himself Bob the Science Guy. This is what he had to say about the argument.
There's also
Oh, there you
horizon
go.
way beyond where it's supposed to be, so there's that too.
Yeah, what's blocking the bottom of the oil rig there?
Not a hill of water. So
Yeah, actually, that's exactly what it is. And if
okay,
you look at how much is
okay,
actually hidden,
okay, buddy.
Right. So he's essentially saying that, like with the green circle, that screenshot from the website, he's saying that there is a hill of water there.
That's not possible.
I would agree. So
Well,
that's
What the hell? Why is that Mario shit playing?
sorry, that was me. That was me, bro. But
have you? Sorry, XD. Sorry, CB. Have you ever heard the claim or the argument? I can't see the bottom of that boat because the curvature of the Earth was in the way. We've had it for the Greeks from a few thousand years. They can't see the bottom of the boat because the curve of the Earth is in the way. Have you ever heard that before?
Don't think I have.
Okay, well, this is primarily the claim that we're dealing with. With distance over the surface of the Earth, if the surface of the Earth was curved, we wouldn't be able to see beyond that curvature. So boats that sailed off into the distance would disappear from the bottom up, and eventually the curve of the Earth would get in the way. What CB has demonstrated to you is if the horizon horizon was physical and was to get in the way from an observer height of 1 foot, the physical geometric horizon should be at 1.2 miles away. CB's demonstrated to you that the horizon is beyond that limitation of the geometric goes to
Well, you're lagging. What the hell?
horizon is not physical.
You're lagging, bud.
Sorry, CB.
Hello? Am I
Yeah,
lagging or
was
is he lagging?
lagging for me too. Jedi, we heard the first half of that, but the second half definitely was chopping up a little bit. You want to just do a quick radio check with us?
Can you hear me any better now?
That came through.
Awesome stuff. So all I'm pointing out is that the horizon is beyond those two oil rigs and beyond the physical limitation of a curved surface at 1.2 miles away. We're showing you that the curvature of the Earth isn't there and isn't able to obstruct things in the distance. Sorry for my robot and my lagging, mate. I do apologise.
No worries. I'm glad it worked out the second time. No worries at all. So that's, and I'll say XD. I know it sounds really complicated, but when I
It
first
is very
joined,
complicated.
I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, you'll come to realize it isn't that complicated. At the end of the day, it's just like if you said that you were 6 foot. When we meet up, well, there has to be 72 inches there, or that claim is cap. What we're saying is, they're saying the Earth is a certain height as well. So we has to have certain. It's required to have a certain, the horizon is supposed to be at a certain distance. So what we're saying is that claim is cap. You can you can go and test that claim just like you can go and test how tall you are. So it's just not that complicated. I know there's a lot of numbers and it sounds a little crazy, but when I first joined the whole conversation, like 2017, this is what this was what the argument was. The horizon. What is the horizon? Is it a physical curve, a hill? Is it the thing that boats go over? Or is it not that? And we're just saying it's not that. But if you go to, any website or whatever, I'll post a screenshot again. They're telling you that the surface between you and the ship is not flat. They're saying the water bulges up, just like the guy
All right,
played in the clip.
somebody muted me, and that's okay.
Hold on one second.
Ow!
This wasn't quite finished. But what they're essentially is like just like that clip I played. They're saying there's a hill of water. Go ahead, Helio.
The horizon is or isn't the curvature
Can
of
you
the
get your
Earth.
mouth away from the
Bottom
microphone?
line.
Yo, you're so
Bottom
loud.
line, horizon
Yo,
is or is not the
you're
curvature
so
of the Earth.
loud.
Yes or no?
Shut up, bitch!
Helio, everything is alright. CB will take over. Everything is cool. Even, I've spoken. Everything is cool.
All right, well, fuck it. I'll shut up. I can take a hint.
No, you won't. No, you won't. Shut up. No, you won't.
No,
It's
I
like
will.
6
This
o'clock.
No, you won't.
You already drunk. You making it awkward, bro.
Y'all a bunch of bitches anyway, so whatever. Fuck.
It doesn't matter what you think!
Does anybody remember what the last thing CB asked this guy was?
No,
I don't.
bro. I'm lost.
Yep. I think we all are.
I haven't understood one thing about this whole conversation yet
Bruh.
because of all the interruptions.
Do you
Don't
understand
worry.
the words that are coming out of my mouth?
I feel really stupid.
Don't worry about that. This last minute.
Stupid.
If you were listening, CB about geometry and drop over distance, you can get it. I think over the sea, because there should to be drop. That's simple way to say if you get that. But that's what Helio. Don't worry about that.
Oh, well, bro, if it's too complicated, just know there's no hills of water, all right? You remember that?
Yeah, I know there's no hills of water because of like the level stuff.
Yeah, well, welcome to the dark side.
I still don't believe in the flat Earth. I'm sorry.
Well,
I don't care.
there's nothing to believe in. Just like you don't believe in
Well,
your height, you just go measure how tall you are, and then you know.
you know what I mean. I think. I don't know
Hold
what the
on.
word is.
Sorry. If there's no curvature to the surface of the Earth, then how can the Earth be a ball?
I don't know. I can't really explain it myself because I'm not like bloody Harvard person, whatever the fuck it is.
You
Or
don't
like,
have to be a Harvard person or
but
a
yeah, I know.
professor or
I'm
somebody with.
just using an
Yeah,
example.
yeah.
I'm not like someone that researches into it. I'm just somebody that thinks whatever I've been taught, from a young age. So yeah,
I understand that. I mean, that's primarily how we all first started off, right? We all thought and got taught that the Earth was a ball. But if the Earth was a ball, then that would mean the surface of the Earth was curving. We're observing that the waters of the Earth are level and do not curve, and there is no physical geometric obstruction called the horizon to stop us from seeing at distance. So if the surface isn't curved, the Earth cannot be a ball.
sorry, I was talking to someone on the chat. I'm getting told off for burping on accident when I can't mute my microphone.
It's all right, brother. Just remember we're live on air, so we try to treat it like a little bit like a radio show. So just keep that in mind when
Wait,
you're
we're
in here.
live?
Yeah, baby, we're live, son.
Live on what?
So, but look, dude, I posted that screenshot. This is Google Earth, right? You see that big hump of water right there?
That's what? Yeah, I see that.
Okay.
I see
Well,
it.
when we say there's no hills of water, we're saying it's not doing that. So if you're saying, yeah, that there is no hills, then you're kind of agreeing with
Yeah, but
us.
that's not a real image, is it?
What?
That's not a real image. If that's what you're on about.
No, but either way, that's what people are saying the water is doing. And so you can either agree with us or you can go back to your hills of water. Take your pick, bro. At the end of the day, it's not super complicated. It's either doing that or not. So simple.
And maybe it's only hard to swallow because you heard this information for the first time.
Kind of hard to follow right now because it's 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I understand because it could be, it's not like somebody stole something from supermarket,
Huh?
It's not like the news that it was some robbery in supermarket. It's a story about reality. There is no curvature in reality, and it's not easy to to concede that if because there is a belief that there is a sphere. But you can look into that. You can ask more questions if you're
Yeah,
interested.
I mean, bro, we people are already in this like autopilot, auto believe mode. We're trying to get people out of that. So you don't want to just leave this call and be like, oh, okay, well, what they said is true. You eventually want to go and test to see if what we're saying is true. Just like you should go test to see what they're saying about the earth and the water is true. So it doesn't have to be tonight. You don't have to like leave tonight, rush to the lake. But maybe one day, I'm sure one day you'll have a trip to the beach or whatever. Well, there's your chance. You can say you actually went to the field and did something, regardless of what you quote believe in. You don't have to believe in anything. But yeah, that's what the goal is, man. Go into the field. Go do some tests. Go find out for yourself. You don't have to just believe us. Don't believe
Don't have
anyone.
to buy stuff like
Oh,
measuring equipment and stuff.
I got a starter pack for you. Here, check the chat. Starter pack requires one $20 large door mirror, one friend, 2 camera phones, body of water. I'm sure you can make it happen. For
And
me,
what
I
do I have
live.
to do with that?
Okay, I got you. So for me, the closest lake, I live in Ohio, so there's not too many big bodies of water nearby. But I go on Google Maps. There's like a 5 mile lake. It's like 5 miles wide at least. Um, it's like maybe 2 hours north from here. So essentially, you could have, say, a friend on one side, you're on the other side. They're saying that if you're 1 foot off the ground, there should be a hump in the middle at 1.22 miles. So if the lake is 5 miles wide and your friend is on the other side, and don't pay too much attention to the chat, but make sure they are trying to keep this show running. But anyway, so if your friend is on the other side, maybe he's got a
Hmm.
mirror, he's flashing some, maybe the sun is hitting the mirror, you're seeing a flash, right? From the other side. Well, there's your test right there. If there's a big hump in the middle, number one, you probably shouldn't even be seeing your friend to begin with. But if you're seeing this light flashing across the water, well, that's how you would essentially test to see if there's a big hump in the middle of it.
Yeah, I
So
don't think I can do that anywhere near me. I don't think there's any big enough lakes for that.
yeah, I mean, I'm kind of in the same situation. So I didn't actually go to the lake. I spent some time in California, so I went to the beach. And then there's things in the water just like those rigs, right? There's things. There's
Would a
boats you can get.
reservoir count?
A reservoir. What do you mean by that?
Like a big body of water? Like, I don't know what reservoirs are. But
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, as long as it's big enough, right? If they're saying that, again, if they're saying at 1 foot off the ground, the distance is 1.22 miles, then actually, let me get a quick clip for you. Because most, I think average person is around maybe 5, 6 feet,
hold
right?
on.
So they're
Let
saying
me
that.
let me just search up how big the reservoir is that's near me. And I'll
Sure,
see
sure.
if it's big enough.
While you're searching that up, I'm just gonna put a 90-second clip on in the background. We'll take a listen.
Hi, I'm Josh Clark, and this is Brain Stuff, and I'm here to answer a very pressing question. Have you ever been standing at the edge of water, say like an ocean, and looked out on the horizon and said, I wonder exactly how far away that horizon is? Where the sky meets the sea, that's the horizon. Well, it turns out because the Earth is curved that it depends on where you're standing and how far above water you're standing. Let's say that you are in the water, right? And you're up to, say, your eyes are about 8 inches above the water surface. Well, again, remember the Earth is curved, and despite the ocean seeming flat, they actually curve themselves, which if you've ever really looked at the horizon, it kind of goes like this a little bit, which is pretty cool. But it also goes like this, right? So if your eyes are 8 inches above the water, right then you're about a mile away from that horizon point where the sky meets the ocean as far as you can tell. If you're standing up above water and you're like I am about 6 feet tall, that means your eyes are about 5.5 feet above the water's edge, which means that you're about 3 miles away from the horizon. Isn't that amazing? Going from 8 inches above water, 5.5 feet above water, is the distance between 2 miles between you and the horizon. Mind-blowing, if you ask me. If you like this video, there's plenty.
Right. So you asked how big does the reservoir need to be? Well, it's going to need
Hmm.
to at least be bigger than what he just told you. If you're 6 foot tall, the curve is supposed to be at 3 miles. If you're 1 foot off the surface, like the Black Swan, then the distance would be at 1.2 miles. So as long as the lake
Yeah,
is 5
I don't think I'll
miles,
be able to do it on mine.
yeah. How big was your reservoir?
It's in acres, so
Acres. Go on Google Maps.
260 acres.
You can go on Google Maps. It'll give you like a.
I'm on my
Guess.
phone, so I can't really go on Google Maps and
Well, we don't need to
do that.
dox you or anything. It's fine. But yeah, essentially that's the
I
idea.
don't mind telling you what the reservoir is. It's
I can look it
cheddar.
up on. I can look it up on Google.
Cheddar.
Yeah.
Cheddar. Let me
Cheddar.
type it. Cheddar. Reservoir. Cheddar. What that? cheddar.
Let's see.
I think that's...
Oh, in England.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let me pull this up on Google Maps here. Oh, okay. Damn, that's nice. Yeah, it's not big enough, bro. It's like 1,000 feet, 2,000.
Oh.
Less than a mile big. So yeah, you're gonna need some water that's a little bit bigger than that. Yeah. Well,
Don't
we
know
have.
of any places that's big enough
What
near
is that?
me.
What is that? The Bristol Channel. That's perfect.
The Bristol Channel. I don't want to be. Isn't that like in like? That's like in a populated area. I don't want to be like seen holding a mirror.
Well, you don't have to do that. You can do like, for example, you can go to, I don't know if there's like a beach or a shore. You can maybe try to look across it, or you
I'm
don't have to
pretty
even.
sure that the shores
Yeah.
on next to that stuff is like quicksand or something, or like
Oh,
mud
really?
stuff.
Oh, damn,
Yeah,
that sucks.
it's pretty
Okay.
disgusting.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that. Well, look, I'm looking through, there's some stuff in the middle. There's a hospital in the middle of the channel there. There's so you can do things like that. Maybe if there's a ships in the water, you can kind of track them. You have there's apps on your phone that can see how far away they are and that kind of thing. But yeah, that the distance between those two you know shores are like 5 miles. It's perfect. 5, 10 miles. So yeah, you could do that there. But
Wait,
yeah,
what is the area again? Bristol Channel, you say?
well, I mean, this is near that reservoir at least. Just there's a big ass body of water. Let me take a screenshot for you.
Pretty far away, I think.
Oh, is it? Okay. Well, like I said, dude, this doesn't have to be something you go rush off and do tonight. But I mean, most people get a chance. Hopefully, most people get an opportunity to go on a little vacation somewhere. And so, I mean, when I was in California, I was like, all right, well, perfect. I'll do it there. Combine my tests with my vacation. So you can definitely try that. But here's a screenshot that body of water right there, the Bristol Channel. I don't know. You can kind of use that body of water there to do some tests if you'd like. But
Yeah,
that's what
that's
we do,
like
man.
super duper duper far away.
Really? Oh, okay, okay, gotcha,
Yeah,
gotcha.
and I
No
don't
worries.
think I'll be like going anywhere like that anytime soon, or
Well,
just a
like I said,
test.
no rush, no rush. It's I did my test in 2021, and the first time I ever even heard the words flat Earth was in like 2017. So you got time. It's.
CB,
Go
can I
ahead, Sasha.
interrupt?
Yep,
I
please.
was there. I was there 3 days ago.
Oh, really? Nice.
Not in Bristol, but in Swansea, and it's near.
Okay, nice.
I
Oh, I see
posted
it.
a picture.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool.
I
Oh, that's
have more.
beautiful.
Yeah, I have beautiful beaches. Yeah.
Well, that's what we do, bro. That's what we do. But if you go to Google, right, YouTube, they're gonna tell you that we're. Bro, I was watching Tim Pool recently, and they like brought up flat Earth and like, oh yeah, the flat earthers think that there's guards guarding the ice wall and all. It's like, bro, no one thinks that. Like, that's the media will try to make it seem like we're like super goofy, but all we're talking
So
about is
what?
the surface of the
I
water.
have a question. You
Yeah.
know, like the Antarctica. What do you think about it?
I mean, dude, have you been there? I don't know. I don't think it's an
No.
island, like it's depicted as some sort of island or whatever. I don't think it's that. I'll take a screenshot just for people that don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, yeah, I don't think it's an island, bro. I would say that. But yeah, there's just like memes like, oh, they think there's guards. Like, no, dude, no one. We don't think that, bro. Like the media will try to make it seem like we say all these goofy things that we don't say. They're not actually giving you the sauce that we really think. No one's trying to teach.
Mm.
No one's trying to teach you about the horizon like we are. You know, you know what I'm saying? Like they want to make it seem like this is a stupid thing, but all we're doing is going outside and testing the earth, bro. It's that simple. And like, I didn't make the earth. This topic isn't like answers to the universe. There's a lot of things we don't know. Even like people on the globe side will admit that we don't know all about the oceans. We don't know about the rainforests. So it's like we don't have answers to everything in the universe. We're just talking about the surface of the earth, but people try to complicate it, make it about, oh well, you know, like, oh, well, what's in the Antarctica? I don't know, bro. I never been there. Like, I'm not Lewis and Clark. Like, bro, like 3 years ago, people could barely travel to the grocery store to buy toilet paper, and now they're talking about, oh, well, let's explore the whole world. Why don't you pump the brakes? All right, go to the beach first, that type of thing. That's what I would say. So just start start there. You don't have to start in locations that you've never even been to. But I don't know what to think about Antarctica.
Or
Does anybody else want to chime in, guys? Y'all letting me cook today, huh? I'm gonna have to go here in like 15 minutes or so. So, guys, get in while it's hot. Y'all shy today, huh? Yeah, that's one of the big arguments, bro. Surface of the Earth. I asked you if you thought buildings move earlier. That's another thing we talk about. You know, we're saying this place doesn't move, period. So that's another big one. And I think the third thing that's kind of important is, like, I remember I told you that you know, you can't put Halo in a PlayStation. So
yeah.
you can't put a flat Earth in outer space. So we don't, you know, it's a tough pill to swallow, but we're saying that there is no outer space.
Huh?
Space is the platform for the globe. We don't have a globe, so we're not talking about space.
Yeah, the Earth doesn't belong in outer space. So it's a really cool setting for like books and movies and anime, video games, but the Earth isn't in that. Okay, so
What is
And
above
yeah,
us then?
well, remember I said that, you know, you can't pop out. Okay, so if you believe in outer space, right, you can't pop out of it. Like you can't leave the Earth, go
Yeah,
to
yeah.
space,
You
and
can't
then like
leave
pop
outer
out.
space. Yeah.
So we're saying you can't leave Earth, pop out. There's no outside to pop out to. Just like there's no outside of outer space to pop out to. So we're saying that this is it, bro. It's not an object in a large space. It is the large space. So you can't leave and take selfies from some outside area. There is no outside. So um, no, we don't know what shape this whole place is. How would you know that? You'd have to like, you can't look at the earth like you can look at a puppet on your hand. You don't have that perspective. The only perspective you have is the current POV that you have right now.
Mm.
You can go up in the sky, you can zoom in, but you can't go out and you can't zoom out your eyeballs and see the whole earth. So, yeah, so yeah, we don't think the earth is in outer space essentially as well. So if you see like images on Google that's like, look at these flat earthers and their pancake, you can already know they're capping and lying to you. Because none of us think that. There's not a single person in this panel that thinks that there's a floating disc in space or whatever. It's a straw man, and it's sloppy, and it's there to kind of get people to make you think the idea is stupid, which it is a stupid idea. No one thinks that. So I'm just gonna search flat Earth right now on Google and see what comes up. Images. Yep. Let me screenshot this, dude. That's what I'm talking about. So you have to be careful. They're not gonna give you the real sauce. They're not gonna hook you up and tell you what we're really saying. They're gonna do this. There's a screenshot in the chat. They're gonna cap and tell you, oh look, there's water falling off. They're on a disc floating in space. Whatever, like magic pizza, ice cream cone, frisbee. It's all cap.
CB, can
Stop the cows.
and then when you see that on the Google, because you will, like everyone, you will look that, then you will come here, and your first question will be, what do you think about Edge? What do you think about these things? You know,
Bruh.
what we didn't put it on the, they put that. You know, they will never speak you about geometry or something of horizons that we are telling you. They will never speak you about who proved the rotation. And third thing we even didn't touch, because if somebody touch you about gas pressure, I don't know how your night will finish, but okay.
Yeah, it's a tough argument, bro. The gas pressure is a tricky one. I mean, I got like 10 minutes left. We can hit you with the last little question here. Can you have? I'll give you some examples. So I'll ask the question. I'll give you an example. So can you have gas pressure without a container? So now I'll give you some examples of gas pressure with a container. Say if you have a bicycle, right? You've got you got the tire, and then you've got the gas
Yeah.
pressure on the inside. Even like a can of soda or a bottle of soda, right? You've got the container, and then you've got the gas pressure on the inside. And so, you know, if you open, say you open, yeah, look at the chat there. If you open the soda, and maybe you pour that in a coffee cup,
Yeah.
you leave it on the counter for a week, essentially the gas pressure is going to dissipate. You need the container to have the pressure. So we're asking, well, if you look at the space selfies that Miguel posted there, there's no container there. So we're asking, how do you have the gas pressure that you're breathing right now, the air? How do we have that if there's no container to contain it? Because every example that I can think of, car tire, bicycle tire, soda can, you need the container to have the pressure. So that's what we ask people is, how do you have gas pressure without a container?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, I mean, we essentially have two options. We could send you on a goose chase to look for a demonstration, or we could just rip the band-aid off and tell you how it is. I think some people don't want to hear it, but when we just point blank, there is no demonstration. I would say that's a violation of natural law. High pressure moves to low pressure. You open high pressure, low pressure. You need a container. So we're saying that's another reason why there's no outer space is because we're contained. The Earth is contained. I mean, it's a weird, tough pill to swallow, but essentially outside is inside. So you might have to pinch yourself next time you go out there. But yeah, we're essentially living in a container. There's no outer space. But again, it's tough to hear that, and a lot of people, it sounds
So we're living in a container.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, unless you
So,
can provide
you know,
a
like
demonstration of.
telescopes, right? You know,
What
like
else could it
telescopes.
be?
What?
Yeah, good question.
Who?
Well, I have
So
a
if
joke
we're in a container,
host.
how come? Well, is
Well,
it
I
see
say,
through or what?
oh, no,
He,
no, hold on, hold on.
he told you, can I? It's a natural law.
Yeah. Well, see, the
Do you
thing
know
is,
what
bro.
is natural law?
I have no idea what's going on right now.
It's more about the antecedent to what is, right? So
You're really loud.
if you have the steak on your plate, you're
Understand?
not asking. You're not. Hello.
I understand you. Your microphone is really loud. Let me turn it down.
My microphone is loud. You know, there's a feature in this Discord that you can lower the
Yeah, I
volume
know.
yourself.
There's like 20 million people in this chat. Hard to find them. What the fuck?
Yeah, what was that?
So the
Oh,
antecedent to the gas pressure is containment. To have the gas pressure, a container is required, and that's how it works. It's not bots or imaginary why nots.
I have a joke about telescopes because I say that telescopes don't whisper in your ear. 'Cause what I notice a lot of people do is they see what they see in the telescope and then they add a bunch of details that the telescope doesn't provide. Oh, I saw millions and billions of miles with my telescope. Well, no, hold on. You saw things in the telescope, but they didn't tell you that was millions and trillions and billions of miles away. You added that. So, like Jemsy pointed out, I think this is a great example. It's called an antecedent relationship. If I plop down a nice juicy fillet on your steak, no fake stuff, no tofu, this is actual steak. I don't have to show you a cow. You know it came from a cow. I don't have to tell you what it looks like. I don't have to tell you how many spots it had, what name, what color. It's from a cow, period. So the same thing we're saying with the gas pressure. You cannot have gas pressure unless you have a containment. I don't need to show you, uh, well,
The
where is it
color
in the
of the
sky?
cow, if
Yeah.
it's a Chinese cow or a Japanese cow or American cow, you know there's a cow because there's a steak on your plate.
Steaks are always from cows. Air pressure is always due to containment.
Yep.
Okay.
So I know when you look up, you see dark and stars, and you were told, a nice little bedtime story that's outer space. Well, if you take that away, doesn't it's just
The
a story.
Glober, some of the Glovers argue, oh, there's a steak on the plate, but I'm not gonna eat it until you show me the cow that it came from. That's the Glober.
Stupid.
Yeah.
This argument always comes down to gravity, though, right? Can we just address that? Because I know XD is probably not going to talk about that.
Gravity doesn't contain air. That's just a claim.
That's the claim. That's the claim, of course, of Globers. They'll claim it's gravity, but
I threw out a place in
Just like steaks don't hatch from eggs, and gravity doesn't contain air.
That's a good one, Central. Steaks don't hatch from eggs. I'm gonna remember that. That's a good one. Nice.
I'll be here all week.
I also have a recording. I have a recording from Richard Feynman about the second law, and I have a little GIF here of the second law in effect. So we can see when we test this in real life that there's nothing stopping the gas from going up. And so I'll play Feynman.
Well, there are the three laws of thermodynamics, very simply expressed. Now let us look at some examples of spontaneous changes and see how they are accounted for in terms of the second law of thermodynamics. We'll take the simplest first and look at changes where only the entropy changes. Now, one, perhaps the simplest of all of these, is the expansion of a gas into a vacuum. I have in one of these bulbs some bromine, and in the other I have a vacuum. And if I open the tap between these two, you will see spontaneously the bromine rush from one to the other. Now that is the simplest change we can have, perhaps, because all that happens is a change in entropy. In this case, the expansion into a vacuum, nothing else is involved. There's no energy change, there's no temperature change, there's no change except entropy. So without the entropy concept, that would have been difficult to understand and difficult to account for. True.
Yep. I mean, it sounds complicated, but he's saying you gotta have the container. If you don't have the container, you're gonna have the pressure move from a higher pressure area to a lower pressure area.
How old is that video?
What is that, Drace? 19 something?
Why haven't they made a new one, modern?
It's one of the natural laws. It's just called entropy. So this one's pretty set in stone, I would say. It's just a really good example. But I mean, you can see this with a can of soda, for example, right? If you take a can of soda,
proven.
Leave it on the counter for a week, it's gonna go flat.
Yeah, it's going to go flat. Yeah.
So it's basically saying that you have to have that container to have
It
the
won't
pressure.
taste nice.
No container, no pressure. So we're saying that since we have all this air pressure on Earth, we're breathing. Well, it's contained. And like our ops will say, well, gravity does it, but gravity doesn't do that. Gravity doesn't.
What do you mean by ops?
Our enemies.
Okay.
I'm just joking, but the Team Globe essentially saying that, oh no, gravity holds the air in, but no,
Yeah.
it doesn't actually. Gravity, like if you let go of a balloon, where does which direction does it go? Up. Not gravity's supposed to do what? Pull things down. So no, gravity doesn't hold air down. That's silly. You don't even observe that. So yeah, that's the third argument that we offer. The first one we talked about was your moving house, whatever, moving buildings. We don't think the earth moves, right? The second was the water. We don't think that water forms in the hills. And the third is we don't think that earth is in outer space. So that's the trifecta for you.
Very cool.
Don't let the people on YouTube make you think we're talking about freaking guards at the ice wall and crazy stuff like that. That's all cap, bro. So that's what we get down about: gas pressure, rotation, or movement, and then the surface of the Earth. It's really that simple. So, and yeah, again, you're more than welcome to come by anytime. I have to leave here in a few minutes, so I see some other legends in the panel. Guys, don't be shy. If you have questions,
I came originally to listen, but
hey, I know. Hey,
got dragged in.
this is like Dancing with the Stars, bro. We'll teach you how to do the.
I even got warned about it, but I didn't listen really. I got dragged right in.
So, no, we'll show you how to rock back and forth, man. We've done this rodeo a lot, so we can show you how it's done. But yeah.
I think other people appreciate you being here, honestly.
I agree. You've been a good sport, XD. So we appreciate you. A lot of people come in and have their emotions. They get triggered. No. It's like, well, it's gonna be okay. Like, you can disagree and still understand our point. It's like a game of catch. We're just gonna throw a point out to you and see if you can catch it, and then maybe you can return it, and we'll throw it back. So that's really all it is. So you've done a great job, man. We really appreciate you. I'll give you some extra rolls for your time here.
Thank you. Thank you for taking time out of your day to explain.
Hey, we're here 24/7, man, and you're the one who took time out of your day to come here. So
It's night time for me. I had nothing to do, so I just came in, just listen. Yeah.
All right, nice. Well, like I said, this place is we're open 24/7, and there's a lot of people who are willing and happy to answer your questions. So if you do think of something like, hey, I heard this, or maybe someone DMs you and you're like, hey, they're all stupid, don't listen to what they're saying, say this, let us know. Hit us, bro. We got you.
What is your profession?
See, old friend, I brought more soldiers than you did.